Have you ever walked a labyrinth? Montgomery County documentary filmmaker Cynthia Khabib explores its healing properties in her most recent film. We caught up with her at Brookside Gardens in Wheaton.
A labyrinth is a structure, it's also been used as a symbol, that has one path that leads to the center and then back out again. And so it's different from a maze because a maze has different pathways and dead ends, and a lot of times it's hard to find yourself out of a maze. But a labyrinth is very simple. You don't have to think about anything. You just enter the path and you follow it, and it leads you to the center, and then it follows you back out again. People use labyrinths as sources of contemplation, meditation, mindfulness, stress reduction, and spiritual awareness.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer back in December 26, 2013. So I was already on a journey to recovering.
I served in the Iraq War. I sustained multiple traumatic brain injuries due to blasts of close proximity. I realized that the world I had built, my world, was so minuscule and insignificant, and there's so much more out there.
Prior to making this documentary called Labyrinth Journeys, I had produced a film called The Community of Gardeners, which explored the vital role of 7 different community gardens in Washington, D.C. And one of the themes of that documentary was how people use gardens as places of healing, where they were experiencing personal difficulties, and the gardens provided them with solace. And so from there grew my interest in labyrinths, because they also are spaces that provide people with a connection to nature, places of healing, places where they can just be away from all the technology, all the devices that we all seem to be tethered to.
And I'm aware of each step I'm taking, which if you're normally walking down a hall to a class or to wherever, it's just, I have a destination. When you're walking a labyrinth, it's more, I have a journey.
And so I wanted to show people how labyrinths can be used in a number of different settings, in places of worship, in parks, in schools, medical facilities, all different places that labyrinths can be used by people of all different ages.
The labyrinth at Brookside Gardens is in the Goody Garden.
So this is actually our second labyrinth. Our original labyrinth was on this site, but it was basically an outline of the labyrinth in cobbles, and then the inside was this fine gravel, which was great for a while, but what we found was that kids loved to pick up that gravel and throw it. So when we made a decision that we really wanted the labyrinth to be a permanent feature of the gardens, we purchased a kit. So you can purchase a kit where all the stones are pre-cut, and our staff installed this permanent labyrinth, and that was about 2012, 2013. And we've had it here ever since, and people love it. There are lots of different styles of labyrinths, and this one is a 9-circuit classical labyrinth, which we chose because it's very simple. It's a very simple style. So here at Brookside Gardens, we understand the benefits of nature to wellness. Actually, there's been a lot of research showing that people who suffer from trauma from any number of sources, it could be PTSD, depression, chronic illness, people who suffer can really benefit from exposure to nature. So having this labyrinth here is great in and of itself, but the fact that it's in nature and surrounded by the gardens amplifies all of the benefits. So we have a number of programs. We also teach yoga programs and Tai Chi programs, which are very important for wellness. And those occur in our Japanese tea house, which is just over my shoulder. And that's the perfect place for these type of practices because you're surrounded by the beauty of nature and it's a very safe, enclosed space to practice. And then you're over the water too, which really helps. We have done herbal healing classes, and then of course we sometimes do labyrinth walks. We can do guided labyrinth walks, but the nice thing about the labyrinth is it's here free of charge anytime anyone needs it. If you're interested in wellness programs here at Brookside Gardens, you can always get a copy of our Experience magazine, which lists all of the programs, and it comes out twice a year. So this is the place to find everything.
And to learn more about Labyrinth Journeys, the movie, go to labyrinthjourneysfilm.com.